Hi, my name is Leah, and I want to show you how I'm loading the stragglers from my scrapbooking supplies into my Scraprack. Last week, I loaded up my new Scraprack. I was previously using a craft binder, and now I have a bunch more supplies to put in. Most of these are travel. They're like some cut-apart sheets that I didn't want to cut apart while I was loading everything else, and also some stuff that just ended up in the wrong pile the first time around. So the first thing, and this is how I plan to handle new purchases as well. So the first thing to do from the pile is to pre-sort them into categories. The most important part of this is to sort them by what spinder you're going to be working with when you put them away. So I'm mostly subsorting the travel, even though travel is on one spinder, because I know most of this stuff is travel. And then I'm sticking alphabets and numbers is on the lower left, themes is above that, and rainbow is on the top left. Because there's less of those, but each of those I'll need to deal with separately. Because themes is one spinder for me, alphabets and numbers is one spinder, and the rainbow is a set of several spinders, but I can deal with all of that at once. Travel is itself a separate spinder from themes. Green, weather, outdoors, and travel all go together to me, so they all sit on one spinder. Green is at the end of my rainbow, so it also flows smoothly into themes. So I'm just sorting these into categories. You can see them labeled with paper post-it notes. So I have I ran out of separate piles to sort into, which is why there's a bunch of travel subcategories. Travel is my biggest theme, which is why I have so many subcategories that are relatively specific, because I'm fairly literal when I'm scrapbooking with travel stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff going into an unsorted other subcategories pile, and then along the left I have this sort of generic travel, which is fairly small for me. Pack your bags, road trip, and travel by airplane. There's some stuff that I'm purging as I go through this, like stuff that I don't think I'll ever use. And these two I still had to make a decision. They got tossed back into this box to try again because I just couldn't decide where I wanted to put them. One of them is going into themes because I decided how I was going to use it, or at least I thought I'd decided. Who knows we'll see when it gets put away. And then the other one is going into rainbow. These are kid-themed things. I don't have a kid. I don't often see kids, so I'm having trouble with all of this kid-themed stuff that came in a 6x6 pad. Since I don't feel like I want a kid theme necessarily. So I'm mostly cutting it up to take all the parts that don't literally say kid. But yeah, so all of this is getting sorted into piles. The reason it's important to pre-sort into piles is it makes the actual putting away go a lot faster. Oh, you can see some of the cool kid pieces that I liked went into a probation pile. Since we're maybe hanging out with a family with kids in a couple weekends, we'll see if I scrapbook that with kid-themed items. So I'm going through here. The days of the week are going to alphabet and numerics because for me, I have numbers and then days of the week and times of day and then words and then alphabets by size. I'll give you a tour of my Scraprack in a different video. There's also some stuff disappearing because I want to cut it out with my scan and cut, which is why one of those disappeared to cut out the labels individually, and the other one stayed together to try being generic travel. This is also some travel stuff that's going into the rainbow because I feel like I could use it easily on any layout if you pretend the travel stuff is a little bit more metaphorical, like the compass for the direction of your life or something. And you can always obviously do that with many of these, but that some of them strike me in the moment as more generic or metaphorical than others. This was a stray sticker, so I'm looking for something non-stick to stick it on. There is some spare sticker paper from the backing of these to stick it onto. I do separate basically all of my stickers so that they can be in the correct category. This takes a while, but it makes me happier. These are about to get separated. This is something that I've not seen. RTS scrapbooking does something similar when she gets low on a paper pad. Not usually when she's at the beginning of it, as far as I know. But so I separate these not by color, but these are by color because they're going in the rainbow. But some of them are also by sentiment. It's like a combination. So these are going in the rainbow, so they're by color. Some of the other ones are going to go by theme. Like that one's going in weather because it's an umbrella, and some of these other ones are going. One or two of the other ones are going in feelings. I'm peeling off the like stray stuff so I can use that as backing paper for something else if I need to, because I'm getting low on the sticker paper I bought. This is like sticker book paper that I bought as sheets on Amazon. So it's better. I like it better than the like wax paper I bought because it doesn't make the stickers less sticky. You can unstick them and stick them as many times as you want, and it doesn't take the backs off of chipboard. It's just like even less sticky than waxed paper, and it never leaves any residue on the stickers. And I've been cutting it down to 3x4 and 4x6 because those are the Scraprack pockets that I have. When I bought it, the easiest size to get was 5x7. It's easy to cut because it's basically paper but with like a waxy texture on both sides. So I'm just sorting through all of these. I'm going to go through the whole pile. Most of this, the like end is not really travel. This is also very much a totally-tiffany approach in that I have a small box that I'm going through. The difference here is that this was the leftovers pile from what I had originally started sorting into my Scraprack, as opposed to like taking everything, putting it into small workable piles, and then putting it into the Scraprack one pile at a time. I did everything at once because I don't have that much, although it was kind of overwhelming. This was much more fun, although I think partly it was because I know how my Scraprack works now. But yeah, so I sort of like, I'm in the groove of like trimming things apart because I know they'll have to go separately in the rainbow section. I'm ignoring all of those planner stickers, knowing that when I get into the rainbow section, I'm going to separate them. These I'm pulling out, so the generic words are just going to go in alphanumeric under words, but if there's any theme-specific words, I'm going to want to pull those out to stick in themes. So I've just got one of the offcuts of the sticker paper here to separate those out. This is a sticker book that I've very thoroughly pulled apart. You can see that I have like everything is going in the Scraprack. Anything that's smaller than 12x12, some theme specific 12x12 papers, but everything smaller than 12x12 goes in. So stickers, embellishments, stamped things that I've cut out on my brother's scan and cut, Project Life cards, all the little embellishments from kits. The stickers are often mixed together, like from different sets, as long as they're all in the same category. I found a scrap, and I decided I was probably keeping it for the number, but that I really liked the map print on the back, so I'm punching it out as hearts, because, like, with that small of a scrap, the option at this point is either toss it because it's so small, or punch it out and turn it into stickers right now. Because I am not saving a scrap that's that tiny. And I don't really want another number 26, even if it's gold foil. Alright, I'm tidying these up into piles. I'm going to stack them back in the box with sheets of cardstock between them that fills up the whole box so they won't get mixed together. And now, this is the relevant spinder. It goes through green and then weather. So I'm putting the umbrella in. Oh, I haven't put tabs on most of these since I just put my Scraprack together. So I'm going to label these as I go through. Some of them still have labels from when I had it in the craft binder, but I think I need to put new ones on anyway since some of those are coming off. So this is the outdoors, like hiking and camping. And then this is travel. It starts with generic travel. These are a little bit out of order because I've got some like journaling focused stuff first, and then there's some embellishments after that, like geotags and like the word adventure. And then there's like traveling a bit farther, traveling like only within a single city. So now I'm working out like, is all of this just generic? Should it go in the like travel further away, travel within a city? Just since like, given now that I have 3 categories that are pretty close to generic, it gives me more context for sorting these. I'm spreading them out by size because while in the pre-sort you're only really thinking about the like what category it goes in, once you like actually have pages in front of you, like size becomes important. Oh, this is when I realized that I have like field notes is for outdoors. I put it in with travel because that's the closest thing. And these watercolor cards were hard to trim correctly out of the cut apart. Alright. So I'm separating these out partially by category, partially by size, as I try to figure out where they're going to go. Those were not very sticky because I think I turned them from die cuts into stickers before I had my Xyron, so they just have some like ATG like tape runner on the back. And so I'm trying to decide what category they're going to go in. Of the like generic travel within a city, and travel farther away, like going on vacation. But generic as to where you're going, just further away, or how you're getting there. And so I'm trying to figure out how many 4x6s I have, since that's going to determine what kind of page I want. And the like 2x12 like borders, or I guess like a 3x12 border, 2x12 and a 3x12 border is like relatively specific. I almost certainly want a 4x1. Yeah, that's what I pulled out, a 4x1. So there's like a 4x12 pocket at the top, and then there's a 6x8 pocket that I'm not going to use, and 2 4x6 pockets. And in a minute I'm going to decide that I want there's 2 cards from the same set and then 2 cards from the other set. This way there's 2 watercolor cards from some set, and the 2 on the other side were Chamel, I think Go Now Go, one of her like older travel sets. The same one that the taxi paper is from, which is my favorite taxi paper. Okay, I think at this point I'm realizing that the journal stuff shouldn't be in front of that the journal stuff should be all together, whether it's stickers or not. Also that the journal stuff should be behind the decorative stuff, because literally the rest of my scrap rack is that way, so it should all be the same. Because usually the journaling stuff is bigger, and so I like it small to large. And so I've moved that stuff around. This has gone fairly quickly. Like, obviously there's like a little bit of like recategorizing for this stuff because it's fairly generic. I think I'm also going to pull I'm going to pull those stickers out in a minute when I notice the grocery bags that don't belong here. Yeah, those should be in the food category, or food theme. And so I'm labeling things as I go through here. I'm going to come back through here because there's stuff that needs to get added in here. I should pull another pile of stuff to go in soon. I'd used a lot of the double-sided, the 4x1 double-sided duo pockets, because there's like a bunch of travel theme specific paper that I wanted to keep in here, because like I do take trips for work fairly regularly, so I wanted my travel paper in here. And there were also these like very small categories that I wanted, because like when I fly on a plane, I would like to use my plane embellishments, which is what this category is. And it makes sense, like it fits in basically, or like the road trip stuff basically fits in one of these and doesn't need more than that. But also like I want it to be all together in one page that like makes a lot of sense to me. And I have a bunch of plain 12 by 12 paper with airplanes on it, that I wanted to be right with the embellishments. So it's like I really like this this like page protector. I used most of all in this section because I made all of these subsections. I'm thinking here about like I don't have that many double-sided duos left. So this is me thinking about, but since I'm splitting Road Trip from Pack Your Bags, which we're previously sharing a double-sided duo, I'm thinking about how I'm going to split them apart, like who gets the double-sided duo. And like obviously Road Trip has one at this point, and they're gonna fit into a single one still. I usually don't like overlapping things in pockets quite this much, but I figure I like don't actually use the Road Trip stuff very much. So if I started like using it a bunch, I would probably move those little things into a separate Traders 12 sheet. I'm gonna pull I think two Traders 12 and then a separate sheet for the border sticker and the 4x6 card. Like I'm gonna pull like the one with the two 6x12 pockets. Just on the like basically on the basis that like I need to fit I only want to have 2 pages, and I have enough little things to warrant the 12 pockets instead of the Divine 9. But yeah, so this is all the stuff. I feel like Pack Your Bags is separate from like generic how far are you traveling, because sometimes I want a packing list or I want the like suitcases, because I'll have like a specific photo of like us like jamming stuff into a suitcase or like the piled up bags. And so it feels like more specific when like I want to talk about the stress of packing specifically. Especially like when there's journaling cards with the packing list or Pack Your Bags. It's also convenient when my categories line up with like the actual things printed, because I find it easier to sort when the categories like line up closely with what's actually printed on the journal cards, as opposed to having to imagine what I would use them for, if that makes sense. Some hotels focus stuff, not very much of that. Some nautical stuff that's on probation because I don't really think I'm going to use it. I haven't used it yet. A bunch of US state stuff. I love collecting stuff since I live in the US, I love collecting versions of United States sets. Stuff for Europe, stuff for the rest of the world. This is all like maps, which are, I got an 8x8 paper set that had a bunch of maps, which is what's going on there. So this is the pile of stuff that wasn't sorted previously. And so I'm sorting it into my subcategories, including a category on the right that's for just outdoors, which I'll have to go back to later. This one, all of these watercolor cut aparts that are like transit passes and like airplane baggage tags, they like take a little bit longer to sort because I have to read them to go like, where is this from? Because I would prefer to use it in the place that it's for. Just because like it's like place specific. If I go to that place, I'd like to use it. If I don't go to represent that place. I'm sorting those so that the duplicates are next to each other. There was one that was like you can cover up the name easily. That I like stuck in, like it's a metro pass for Paris to Lyon. And that one I just stuck one of the copies into just like within a city travel, because it's easy to cover up because it's very small text on like one edge of the pass. And so mostly it just says like Metro Rail something something. There's like the other is like a Northeast Rail Pass that doesn't say what the Northeast is. Which probably means it's a Northeast Regional. Like, Northeast Regional is the term used in the Northeast United States. Since what else would it be? The US does that. Okay, so this is going into, there's generic, I have like, the generic, like, far travel tends to have, I do all the, like, world traveler, around the world maps. Trains go in there because I don't have enough of them to, like, merit their own category. Maps go in there. I mean, maps go in generic, but they also go in, like, world maps go in here. Passports go in here. All the things that say world traveler. So I'm figuring out how I'm going to fit those in. Before, I think I might take a break from, at some point I'm just going to stick the geotag in since that's going to be quick rather than working out how exactly to fit all of these things into pockets. I'm sorry about this video. I didn't realize how off the screen some of this puzzle is. Like, you can't do this puzzle with me because you can't see all of the cards that I wanted to put. I was counting the cards that I wanted to put in so that I could decide which thing to get. Because like if you have 4 3x4 cards, you have to choose between a Divine 9 and a Trader's 12 at the very least. I usually pick a Divine 9 since that's like more flexible in the future to have like 2 sizes of pockets available in case the next thing I buy and want to put in that section is 4x6. Okay, the geotag is going with the rest of the geotags from that set that managed to get turned into stickers sooner. And then the rest of this stuff is local. So we're going to have to flip back from generic to local. This stuff is going to get... I'm going to pull a bunch of stuff out of this sheet because there's a bunch of stuff in this side of 4x1 duo that we're going to stick together. But you're going to miss most of it because the camera ran out of battery. But so this is like... I'm counting all of the cards to pick out which sheet to use. I end up sticking the 4x6 mostly in the page and using a Divine 9 because I have just enough room in Divine 9 to do the rest of them. But yeah, thank you for watching. This is my first, like, what does, like, it look like when someone else loads their Scraprack. That's when, not totally-tiffany, but, like, someone who's just, like, really using it as their everyday thing, which is something that I looked for a lot but had trouble finding. I hope that you're watching it while doing your craft room organizing. But yeah, so this is my very involved organizing for travel supplies. I hope that you have a version of organizing travel supplies that works for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.